Attorney General Merrick Garland faced questions from House lawmakers for the first time in months today, and it wasn't pretty. Especially revealing was the hypocrisy exposed during this line of questioning from my next guest, Congressman Greg Steube.
Most of us are lawyers here, so we use evidence in court. So you got two pictures here. One picture is from January 6th of individuals forcing themselves into the Capitol. This other picture is extremists forcing themselves into the Interior Department. Would you call both of these acts domestic terrorism?
Look, I'm not going to comment about particular matters. This is a matter that...
I'm not asking you to comment on a particular... I'm asking you to comment on these two photos.
One I know the facts of, the other I don't know the facts of.
Florida Congressman Greg Steube joins me now. Congressman, what did you think about the Attorney General's answer there?
Well, do we really think that he doesn't know the facts of an intrusion that happened into a government building blocks away from where his office actually sits? What was the most amazing thing is when I asked him about the incident, he said he wasn't aware of the incident at all, which is either an outright complete lie or his deputies are refusing to even tell him of things that are happening when it's extremist leftists and progressive and socialist extremists on the other side of the spectrum, when all they want to do is target conservatives in our country today.
Yeah, so that was at the Interior Department, and it got almost no coverage, Congressman. And I saw it online in a few places, and I think Fox might have done something on it, but very, very little in the way of coverage. But they were trying to get through that front door. I mean, they said so.
Well, and they got in the front door. 55 people were actually arrested. There were officers and police officers and security officers who were so injured they had to go to the hospital. So you hear nothing about it. And as you could see from the pictures that I showed the AG, they look very similar to forcing their way into the Capitol and forcing their way into the Department of Interior, both federal buildings under the same set of laws, but the department is refusing to categorize that as domestic terrorists, but they have no problem categorizing what happened on January 6th as domestic terrorism. And the hypocrisy knows no bounds when it comes to the politicization that we have seen in the Department of Justice with the Biden administration.
Well, Joe Biden tonight on CNN, Congressman, said that he was committed to ensuring that the Justice Department return to being an unbiased arbiter of law enforcement. So he insisted that things were copacetic over there.
Well, of course, and so AG Garland said the same thing today. It's just they say what they want people to hear, but their actions are completely opposite of that. And the American people are smarter than that. The American people are smart enough to see that they're acting one way to one class of people with a certain ideology and another way to another class of people with a different ideology. And I wish I had more than 5 minutes, because I would have pressed him on the riots that we saw over these big cities over this past summer. That what happened to these people? Are they in solitary confinement? Are they being raided by the FBI SWAT teams and taken in like the people in January 6th? We have a completely politicized Department of Justice that has one set of rules and laws for one set of ideology in our country, and a completely different set of laws and rules for the people that support them.
I want to get to another line of questioning from today. Watch.
Can you tell us, without talking about particular incidents or particular videos, how many agents or assets of the federal government were present on January 6th, whether they agitated to go into the Capitol, and if any of them did?
So I'm not going to violate this norm of the rule of law. I'm not going to comment on an investigation that's ongoing.
Congressman, why does that impact an investigation, giving us an answer as to whether there were government officials in that crowd on January 6th, either among the crowd, surveilling the crowd? How is that going to change the investigation? I don't follow.
It doesn't impact the investigation at all. And he refused to answer that question from multiple different members that had asked him that question. And there's been reports that there was undercover FBI agents, or FBI agents were inciting some of the violence, or FBI agents were pushing in through the door to encourage people and encourage what we saw happen on January 6th, and they're outright refusing to answer our questions. And they'll complete all these investigations, and he will still hide behind the fact that, well, we can't disclose that information. The Department of Justice doesn't have to disclose the results of an investigation. They will never tell the American people the truth. So we're relying upon some whistleblower to come forward and say, yes, this is what was going on January 6th.
Congressman, fascinating today. Thank you.